This kitchen scrap can multiply your harvest by 3, and I only discovered it after wasting hundreds of dollars on fertilizers that gave me fast growth and dead plants by mid-season. I'm not talking about coffee grounds. Everyone already knows about those. This is something you throw away every single day without realizing it's worth more than any bag of fertilizer you'll find at the store. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to prepare it, which plants need it most, and why the modern agricultural system prioritizes quick results over soil health. But first, let me show you the hidden cost of convenience farming. Let's talk about what's broken. Walk into any garden center today and you'll see walls of synthetic fertilizers, NPK ratios printed in bold numbers, like they're some kind of scientific breakthrough. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, they'll grow your plants fast, no question. But here's what the industry doesn't emphasize on those shiny bags. The agricultural industry focuses on visible results, fast growth, big yields, quick turnaround. But soil isn't just a storage tank for chemicals, it's a living organism. Those synthetic fertilizers deliver immediate nutrients, but they do nothing to feed the microbial ecosystem that actually builds long-term fertility. The bacteria, the fungi, the entire underground network that's supposed to process organic matter and create natural nutrition. It withers away. Year after year, you need stronger doses just to match last season's results. It's not a conspiracy, it's just business. The system is designed around products that create dependency, not soil that builds itself. And most gardeners never realize they're stuck in that cycle until they step back and ask why their soil keeps getting worse instead of better. Coffee grounds became the trendy alternative. Every gardening blog tells you to save them, spread them around your tomatoes, mix them in your compost. And sure, they add nitrogen. But most people use them wrong. Too much acidity. Clumping, that creates mold. And here's the bigger problem. Coffee grounds don't address the real deficiency most soils are dealing with. Calcium deficiency. You've probably seen it. That dark, sunken rot at the bottom of your tomatoes. Peppers that look perfect, until you turn them over and see that black collapse. Stunted growth, weak cell walls, fruit that never reaches full size. This happens because modern soils are depleted of one specific mineral that plants need to build strong structure. And no amount of NPK is going to solve it. Your soil isn't just missing nutrients. It's missing the foundation that creates resilient plants. Plants that can resist disease. Plants that produce heavy yields without collapsing under their own weight. The solution has been sitting in your trash this entire time. Before I show you what it is, quick question. Have you ever dealt with blossom end rot? Drop a tomato emoji in the comments if you have. I want to know how many of us have been fighting this same struggle. Eggshells, that's the secret. And before you think you've heard this before, let me tell you why almost everyone uses them wrong and what changes when you do it right. Eggshells are 95% calcium carbonate, the exact same compound that's in limestone, in oyster shells, in the bones that ancient farmers used to grind up and add to their fields. But eggshells are better because they break down gradually. They don't flood your soil with calcium all at once and risk burning your plants. They release it slowly, exactly as your plants develop and need it. Farmers 300 years ago knew this instinctively. Before the fertilizer industry existed, before NPK became standard practice, people saved their eggshells. They crushed them. They worked them into their gardens. It wasn't folklore. It was observation. Their plants grew stronger. Their harvests were more consistent. And they didn't need to purchase a single product to make it happen. Go back even further. Indigenous communities across North America used crushed shells from rivers and coastlines. Same principle, calcium, trace minerals, slow release. They understood something that industrial agriculture has largely forgotten. Healthy soil isn't about force-feeding synthetic nutrients. It's about supporting the biological processes that feed plants naturally. If you're realizing there's a better way to grow food, hit that subscribe button. We're bringing back practical farming knowledge that actually builds soil instead of depleting it. And here's the thing, eggshells work even better with perennial plants, plants that you grow once and harvest for years. I actually created a full guide on 7 perennial vegetables that thrive with this kind of natural feeding. It's called 7 Forgotten Perennial Vegetables. Link below if you want to stop replanting every season. But let me show you exactly how to prepare eggshells first, because the method makes all the difference. Step 1. Collect your eggshells. You don't need to rinse them obsessively. A quick rinse is fine, but you're going to dry them anyway. Save them in a container on your counter or in the fridge if you're concerned about odor. Most people don't have issues with smell if they're using them within a week or two. Step 2. Dry them completely. This step is non-negotiable. Wet eggshells attract pests and can introduce bacteria into your soil. 2 methods work. Well, you can put them in your oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. Low heat, just enough to make them brittle. Or if you don't want to run your oven, spread them on a tray in direct sunlight for a day or two. Once they're dry, they'll crumble easily. Step 3. Grind them down. You have options depending on what result you want. If you need calcium available quickly, grind them into a fine powder. Use a mortar and pestle, an old coffee grinder, or a blender. The finer the powder, the faster your soil microbes can break it down and make it available to plant roots. If you want slow-release nutrition over several months, just crush them into small chunks with your hands or a rolling pin. Larger pieces take longer to decompose, which is ideal for perennials or crops with long growing seasons. Step 4. Apply them to your soil. If you're planting something new, mix the eggshell powder directly into the planting hole. About 1 to 2 tablespoons per plant. For established plants, sprinkle it around the base. Work it gently into the top inch of soil, then water it in. The calcium will begin moving into the root zone within days as soil moisture and microbial activity break it down. Now here's a technique most people don't know about. Eggshell tea. Take your crushed eggshells, put them in a jar, cover them with water, and let them steep for at least 24 hours. The water will extract some of the available calcium. Use that water to irrigate your plants directly. It's a faster way to deliver calcium to the root zone for plants already showing deficiency symptoms. You'll often see improvement in new growth within a week. Dosage matters. 1 to 2 tablespoons of crushed eggshells per plant works for most vegetables. You can't really overdo it because calcium isn't toxic to plants, but there's no benefit in adding more than they can use. Save excess shells for your compost pile, where they'll continue breaking down and enriching your finished compost. Which plants benefit most? Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. The entire nightshade family has high calcium requirements. They're heavy fruiting plants that need strong cell structure to support their yields. Brassicas like broccoli, kale, and cabbage also respond well to extra calcium because it strengthens their tissues and makes them more resistant to pest damage. But the plants that benefit most are perennials like asparagus and rhubarb. They're in the soil for decades, so establishing them with proper calcium nutrition from the beginning creates a foundation for years of productive harvests. That's exactly why I included them in the 7 Forgotten Perennial Vegetables Guide, link in the description. These plants develop extensive root systems, and calcium helps them build the structural integrity they need to produce reliably year after year. If you're getting value from this, hit that like button. It helps this reach more people who are looking for sustainable growing methods. And if you want the complete breakdown with dosage charts and troubleshooting tips, I've written it all out on my blog, link in the description. It's free and goes deeper into the details we can't cover in video format. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Plants fed with eggshells develop noticeably thicker stems, darker, healthier foliage, fruit that reaches full size without cracking or rotting. The difference isn't subtle. It's the kind of improvement that makes people ask what you're doing differently. I've tested this side by side. Same varieties, same soil base, same watering schedule. The only variable was eggshells. The plants that received them grew approximately 30% larger and produced nearly double the fruit. Not because of any chemical trick, but because they had the raw materials they needed to build strong cells and maintain healthy tissue throughout the season. Now let's talk about what not to do, because these mistakes are common. First, don't skip drying. I know it seems like an extra step, but wet eggshells can mold, attract insects, and potentially introduce pathogens. 10 minutes in a low oven eliminates this risk completely. Second mistake, tossing whole or large pieces of shell onto your soil and expecting quick results. If you don't crush them, They can take years to break down naturally. That's fine if you're thinking long-term soil improvement, but if you need calcium this season, grind them fine. Third, dumping excessive amounts because you assume more is better. Plants absorb calcium at a steady rate. They can't stockpile it like some nutrients. Stick to the 1 to 2 tablespoons per plant guideline and reapply every couple of months if your plants are heavy feeders. Use the rest in compost or spread it thinly across garden paths where it will slowly incorporate over time. Speaking of compost, here's something worth knowing. Adding crushed eggshells to your compost. Pile accelerates decomposition. Calcium helps break down organic matter more efficiently and balances pH if your compost tends acidic. Just add them whenever you're adding kitchen scraps. By the time your compost is finished, the shells will be fully integrated. One more advanced technique. If you need to address calcium deficiency quickly, you can make a calcium acetate solution. Put crushed eggshells in a jar, cover them with white vinegar, and let them react for a few days. The vinegar dissolves the calcium carbonate and creates a liquid calcium source. Dilute it 1 part solution to 10 parts water and apply it to the soil around your plant's roots. The spray foliar method can help in emergencies, but the real work happens at the root zone, where the plant can distribute calcium properly to developing fruit and new growth. This is what real self-sufficiency looks like. Not buying products, not depending on companies to diagnose what your soil needs, just basic observation, fundamental knowledge and using resources that are already available. Your great-grandparents did this without access to gardening forums or university extension offices. They watched their plants, saved what worked, and built soil that improved with every passing season. What other kitchen scraps are you using in your garden? Comment below and let me know. I read every response, and I might feature the best suggestions in a future video. Subscribe if you want more practical farming knowledge, like this. Check out the guide on perennial vegetables if you're ready to stop replanting every year. Visit the blog for written guides and deeper technical breakdowns. Everything is linked in the description. Your ancestors knew this. Modern agriculture moved past it. Now you know it too. Use it.